I got a cheat skill in another world and became unrivaled in the real world too is a long title. If only they had invested as much time creating the title as they did writing a better story. Iseleve perfectly exemplifies the problematic writing in isekai anime. Okay, you guys know me, I'm your friendly fellow math, and I love isekai anime to the point my doctor thinks it's my euphemism for drug addiction. But it doesn't mean that I see it as the perfect genre for anime. It's far from it. And it's not even a hot take to say that isekai anime has problematic writing. What sets apart a good isekai from a mid-isekai is how they utilize the premise of their story. For example, Re:Zero attracted its fans with the time travel elements and captivated them by showing the mental toll of repeating the trauma, which is why Re:Zero is considered as one of the best isekai titles out there. Iseleve, on the other hand, wasted their premise like her old classmates who peak in high school. The premise of Iseleve is actually amazing, drawing in anime fans who are eager to immerse themselves in its story, and this anime fooled everyone, making us all think that it has the potential to challenge the Mount Rushmore of isekai anime. Iseleve follows the story of Yuuya Tenjou, who is a victim of bullying, despised by his own parents, and the only person that ever loved him is now dead. But Yuuya's fortunes take a turn when he found a door that acts as a portal between the real world and another world, where he acquires game-like skills and abilities in an instant that he can use in the real world. Just imagine what you can do if you suddenly gained magical skills and abilities in another world and use them in our world. Like gaining martial arts skills in the fantasy world and then you compete in MMA. Or you gain some magical healing items and then use them to try and cure cancer. Or you gain these amazing skills and use them to create mediocre videos about anime on YouTube. Please subscribe to Otaku Defined, or you increase all of your stats and enjoy your high school life. Now, which of them do you think is the most entertaining to watch? If you pick the last one, then congratulations! You can now start writing your own crappy isekai light novel. Despite having an intriguing premise for an isekai anime, Iseleve chose to abandon its potential and instead adopted a generic plot for an isekai high school anime, disregarding the unique elements it initially presented. Now that Yuuya is the hottest thing in the world, and that is not even an overstatement, since every character who sees him can help but express their desire to breed with the MC. Stop! I get it! He's hot! You would think that he would somehow use all of the skills he acquired to his advantage, but nope. Yuuya just decided to have a peaceful high school life. And when he was confronted by his bullies, you would think that Yuuya will do something that will give us satisfaction of knowing that they are now messing with the wrong dude. But nope. Instead, we get the most boring interaction with Yuuya, partnered with his dumbfounded expression. I feel like I got blue-balled. I mean, at least try showing them that you're absolutely amazing now. Like kick one of them into the orbit or something. But I get it. It makes his character somehow compelling because instead of feeling confident despite his drastic change, he still feels incompetent due to his psychological trauma. That's a huge potential character arc for his development, but then we never see any of that because he completely turned into a Mary Sue. The potential of this isekai's premise is utterly squandered, and this is just one of the problematic aspects of its storytelling. The anime kept writing mediocre stories that doesn't do any justice for the characters. I can watch trashy isekai, but Iseleve is a steaming pile of rotting garbage. The side characters in this anime merely serve as plot devices to highlight the overwhelming power of Yuuya, especially the writing on the biker gang story, and this made me give up all hope for Iseleve. It just shows how this anime is a complete wish fulfillment so viewers can self-insert themselves as the MC and fantasize about being powerful and awesome. Yuuya jumps out of the window just to show off some cool superhero landing, but the execution is just too weak and cringy. When Yuuya overpowers the biker gang, it feels weak and unrewarding because Yuuya does it with minimal effort. And then suddenly, the main girl passes out for no reason at all. You barely did anything. Why did you pass out? Well, it's to stroke Yuuya even further as this heroic white knight. The story could not write anything creative for Yuuya and Kaori to have a moment, so they just decided, hehe, now you have narcolepsy. It's so stupid! Especially since earlier she was seen standing bravely against the biker gang. And now you pass out for no reason? Also when the issue was resolved quickly with no setbacks. Not to mention when the leader of the biker gang started strangling Yuuya's brother, the police were just standing there doing nothing. I mean, at least get your tasers out. You're clearly witnessing murder happening in your very eyes. But nope, they had to wait 40 seconds for Yuuya to finally step in and save his brother. Again, It's this lazy writing that does no justice for the characters and even Yuuya. It is supposed to showcase how awesome Yuuya is, but it did the opposite in making Yuuya a terrible wish fulfillment character. This writing is so problematic, and it's showing how bad isekai anime has become because of it. I mean, if you think Iseleve is good, then please convince me. How is this good? Again, this is the problem with its writing because it managed to create another terrible wish fulfillment isekai anime. Many isekai anime fit into the wish fulfillment category, where the main character is transported from their mundane existence into a thrilling adventure, gaining incredible power and becoming the focal point of attention. Now, it's important to note that wish fulfillment isekai anime are not inherently bad, despite this argument being commonly used to criticize them. In fact, there are a lot of great wish fulfillment anime. What sets them apart is the fact that the fulfillment of wishes is earned through character development, personal growth, and overcoming challenges, rather than simply being handed to the protagonist without effort. However, in Iseleve, everything is handed to Yuuya without much effort. He rarely encounters challenges in his fights, and whenever a new female character is introduced, they're immediately enamored by how hot he is. Shut up. And this is what makes a wish fulfillment story terrible when the characters fulfilling them did the most minimal effort. Like when we use ChatGPT to do our homework for us. Actually, I bet ChatGPT can write a better isekai story. Hi guys, so yeah, I really don't like this isekai anime. But hey, maybe you like Iseleve, tell me how wrong I am in the comments. If you like anime content, then please subscribe to Otaku Defined and hit that button with the same amount of force as these girls do when thirsting for the MC. Speaking of Isekai MC, Sid from the Eminence of Shadow is a well-written Isekai wish fulfillment MC. If you don't believe me, then watch this video right here. This is Math, and stay awesome my dudes.